Queensland, in Australia, palmistry Q&A. I have again had a little glitch here, just that my scheduled live wouldn't let me go to that specific part, literally wouldn't let me go to the link that I've posted. The scheduled post is not working. So, but I just clicked the live button and it is a separate live stream. So I apologize to anyone who received a notification going live now and it didn't happen. If they are still there waiting, actually I can probably go and fix that. If you give me a moment, I can answer your questions here today with regarding the lines on your hand. If you want to show your hands, I will give you my WhatsApp number and you can send a picture. But it's only during this live stream. It's not once this live is over, I won't be accepting any photos. Unless it's a paid reading, of course. So I'm just going into my scheduled live. It says upcoming because it wouldn't let me. So I'm just going to have to delete that one. Yeah, it just says upcoming. So people are going to be waiting for that, sadly. Where do I even delete it? I'll go to my studio and delete it in there. So sorry about that, people. Getting there. Sometimes it is a little bit like this. Only because I literally finally managed to get the dual streaming to work for Facebook. So if you are watching from Facebook, thank you for joining me. And it should be streaming both horizontal for YouTube and vertical for Facebook. So that's how I used to have it for TikTok, but I don't know how to set it up for TikTok anymore. They're too hard to deal with. I keep losing their ability to stream. I don't know what TikTok are doing to me, but anyway, I don't care. So what I want to talk about today, if I'm not getting any questions, I shall just keep babbling on. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to interrupt me. And I'm happy to answer your questions. But in the meantime, I shall bring up my little pencil and see if I can draw on here as well. And what we are going to talk about is the energy in your hands. Why is there energy in your hands? It's your hands are like living maps of your energy. So they show your overall vitality. And one of the most common questions that I'm asked is, can your palm show any health issues? And so palmistry is not about diagnosis, making diagnoses, whatever. Instead, it sort of helps us notice some patterns, some stress markers, changes in the body's energy that often reflect on our hands. They reflect what we're feeling, our mind, what our mind is going through, what our body is going through can reflect in the hands. So it's important to understand, if you are new to palmistry especially, that your palm can't tell you the condition or predict any future illness. That's not how it works. They respond to your nervous system, your circulation, your stress levels, and your long-term lifestyle patterns. So when something in your body shifts, then your hand can shift, your skin can change, your lines can change, your fingernails can change. All these health markers can appear on your hands. So starting with the lifeline, for instance, which is the line that wraps around the ball of the thumb, if that's one of the first lines that people usually look at. So it doesn't predict how long you live or anything like that, but it reflects your vitality and your resilience, and it reflects changes. So a deep, clear lifeline like this usually shows strong energy and good recovery ability. So if the line is a bit chained or frayed, that might point to periods of stress or burnout or just long-term fatigue. If you see these breaks, they can represent major life changes. That doesn't mean there's a health problem. It can mean a shift in life from one type of lifestyle to another, for instance. So they marking your journey, not necessarily health-wise. So you can't say a certain mark is a definitive health indicator, where some people might want to say, oh, this mark means this mark means that. On their own, you can't really specify. They can say that there is a health issue. They can say that there is potentially a problem during this period, but you can't, the hand doesn't exactly pinpoint what the health issue might be. So they can represent tiredness, they can show weakness, but that tiredness or weakness can come from many kind of health problems. So basically, the stronger, clearer the lines, the better, in a sense that there might be a strong constitution, but that can also hide potential health issues. Some hands just don't show anything. So the health lines, which usually rise up towards that heart line on an angle, sometimes it starts right off the lifeline. These lines are called the health lines, and if that area is very frazzled, then that can represent health problems. There may be some digestive issues. It could be as simple as eating the wrong types of food, that you might be allergic to dairy or something, so it could be a very simple cause, but there can be something more serious if you ignore the signs. So basically, these lines are present on almost every hand, but if they are not present, that means that the person may not be aware when they are unwell, so they're not in tune with their body, so to speak. So people who do have these lines tend to know if something's wrong, and they tend to do something about it before anything happens. So if these lines are wavy or weak, they can reflect stress to the nervous system. And so interestingly enough, if these lines become red or start to change, like if they go from one line to suddenly becoming multiple lines, and that can reflect a change in the health of the person. And then we look at the color of the skin. You've got the texture of the skin. Pale hands show more of the low energy or tiredness, and red hands can reflect more on circulation. So there's a lot more heat, there may be more stress, there may be anger issues, there may be heart, blood pressure issues, things like that. So very red hands sometimes just occur from basically heat, and your energy can produce heat. So I realize, sorry Erica, I explained at the start here when I came on, the stream didn't start from the scheduled stream. It's just failed it. The button on my end was missing. The go live button was completely missing. I don't know what the glitch. I've had that glitch before. I think it's because I'm dual streaming to Facebook as well. So I hope I can fix that problem next time. But anyway, good to see you here. Islands on the lifeline, around 60, very small. Okay, so yeah, islands are pretty much just periods of uncertainty, and they can represent periods of tiredness or divided energy, especially around that 60 mark. Many people do have that, in especially females, because they, you know, go through the menopause and their body is changing anyway. So that time period is common for islands, and also when there are changing circumstances happening in the person's life where their energy is divided. I think I've explained that before. So when your life goes one way only, and you're going to work, you're dealing with the kids, here's your life, blah blah blah, but then something else turns up, and then suddenly you've got more things going on, so your energy is divided into more areas than just that one path. So that's when the islands can show. And if there are many of them, like a chain, then that is a period of potentially weakened immune system, so you have to be quite careful during that time. And if they are only small, they can go away much quicker than, say, a big island. So I hope other people aren't waiting for that notification from the other live, because it won't come. The lines I'm showing diagonal. Okay, so they're your health lines. That is the Mercury line, some people call it. I just call them health lines. So you have two parallel, very strong, not close together on the left hand. Yeah. So they do represent more so your being in tune with your body. So that's if they are like a clear, kind of a clean line, so not too fragmented. So if it's a fairly clean line, that shows good health in general, and it shows that you're aware of your health problems. It's when this area becomes very fragmented and very patchy is when it represents the health issues. And it's quite rare for there to be really clear markings on this line. Like if you're going to have crosses and crossbars and islands, you know, they are marks that are more visible on the lifeline. If those sort of signs go on the health line, it's quite rare, but they do then represent and pinpoint a specific time that potentially there is a health issue, a current health issue. So it's not saying that it's a future health issue, if that makes sense. So I do have your hand pictures, and I can't remember what we talked about last time. We may have already discussed those. We may have already discussed your health lines on a previous video. I can't remember. I remember I brought them up here on the screen. So Yes, I came live last week, but yeah, you weren't here last week, but that's okay. We had a good session last week. I was doing live readings. People send me their palm pictures to my WhatsApp, and then I look at it and then I analyze it. So it's easier to do that way rather than when people try and describe, I've got a line that goes to the left, goes to the right, and then it swirls around and then goes this and does that. And I'm like, it does what? So I decided much easier if I get people to send me the picture on my WhatsApp, and then I can just look at it. And for future there, I've got the connection. Oh, okay, that's weird. Yeah, we had a couple people come on, and it was good. I had new people come on, so that was interesting. Very interesting session. It's still there, I think. If you wanna go and replay it, it might be good learning for you. And yeah, so I was planning on doing more about my mum and dad's hands. Oh, you did watch it. Okay, cool. I want to do another session on my mum and dad's hands because they've had some changes going on with their health, and I want to go back and have another close look at those recent photos that I got. And so, because what happened, I went away on holiday, and as soon as I went away on holiday, my sisters told me that, oh, mum's gone down, she's been taken to hospital, blah blah blah. And I thought, oh my god, as soon as I go away, problems arose with her. And while my dad was trying to help, then problems went with him. So the whole time I was away in Tasmania, both my mum and dad were in hospital. And I'm like, what? So I haven't had a chance, but I want to bring up those pictures again, and if I can find something interesting to talk about, I will bring them up for the live stream next time. And yeah, see what we come up with. But yeah, there could be something there that I missed, and sometimes it's right in front of you, but because everything is fine and dandy, you don't notice it, kind of thing. But then, yeah, both of them suddenly went down, so they're okay. They didn't die, but yeah, all of that jazz. So we got a couple of people viewing. You're welcome to say hi, don't be shy. If you want to send your picture, if you are here viewing, you want to send your picture, I have my WhatsApp number on the screen now. I've got that on there. I'll have that on there for the next 5 minutes. You can take that down and send me your pictures, and maybe we can discuss what's on your hand, because sometimes, like I said, people have a question but they're a bit unable to describe it or explain it. So, but yes, Erica says, what does a long line that comes down between the Sun and Saturn, and it's long like it touches the heart line? So literally in between, you mean like that? That often is the success line, because the amount of Saturn, okay, yeah, that should be basically another success line, because most people have a mount of Apollo. So the mount of Apollo is developed, so there's no room for the line can't form on the mount because it's well developed. So sometimes the mount of Apollo shifts over towards the Mercury, and then the person like me will have the success lines right smack bang where they're meant to be. But if you have the mount of Apollo directly underneath the finger, then it forces the success line to go beside where it normally sits. So that is still your success line. It could even potentially represent the fate line. But often in these cases, the fate line ends up going off to the other side as well. Do I have two sun lines? Yeah. Yes. I have multiple. Mine are going a bit frizzy at the moment because I'm doing so much and my lines are reflecting my crazy life. So my success line currently, I'll show you, it looks like this. It goes, this is all the crazy things that I'm doing. They're all coming together. Then it kind of goes like that, and then it kind of goes like that. So yeah, I have a, sort of rub this bit out. It's sort of like they're trying to all come together. There is sort of fine lines there, like doubled lines. Why is that not, my pen's not working? Hello pen, come to life. There it is. I've sort of got a double line there, but rising from my heart line, I've got these tree roots that just sort of all form together, and then it splits again right towards the end of it. So yeah, it's a bit mad. There's a lot going on there. I have a lot going on. Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting, but it makes sense because I just do everything. I think I got ADD or something. Yesterday, I had to go and visit my mum in hospital, and before I'd even left in the morning, I had done my washing. I recorded my card of the day video. I wrote the lyrics to my new song. I started to write the melody for it, and then also recorded my palmistry video and uploaded that. I'd done all of that in the morning before I went to see my mum in hospital, and my daughter says, she goes, "Oh, you did all that. I just sat down with my cat," you know. So I think I'm a little bit hyper, and these lines show it because of the crazy stuff that I do. So Erica says, if there's no two clean parallel lines, does it mean that a person will not have a companion in old age? If there's no two, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't mean that at all. The parallel line can represent a companion, but it can also represent another source of income. So if there's only one line, that doesn't necessarily mean that anything to do with the partner at all. So more like if there isn't a second line there, it means the companion is not supporting like you or the person. So that second line can mean that there's a partner supporting. Is an extra line, could be extra income, extra support, could be a partner, could be living with your children, it could be someone who's helping support, whether it's a person or another source of income or another job or another business. It can be a multitude of things. But if it's not there, it doesn't mean anything is missing. It just means that is enough on its own, regarding like there's no other support needed, maybe, you know, or, you know, so that's enough of the income that you don't need that partner income, or you don't need the support from extra income, or whatever the reasons there are. So I will look at that on my mum and dad's hands again. I think we did look into that before. Pretty sure we looked into that before, but I don't have them here right now, so I'll look into that again. Next time I'll make sure I've got their photos here. And yeah, we'll see what the lines say. It suddenly got hot here. Yeah, so what else was I going to discuss? I had something else. I'll just clear that one off for a minute. I was going to talk about the changing lines, how the lines can change as well. So especially those health lines, yeah, they can come and go. Like I had am I going to do your left hand on a live? Oh, my left hand on a live. Yeah, I did say I was going to do that too. Yeah, because that's a bit wild. Yeah, I'll have to get that a nice photo of that and put it up there, or I can just do the drawing of it. But yeah, it's definitely very interesting. Very interesting left hand. I can do that as well. I keep forgetting what I was going to do next. I haven't taken notes. Plus I went away for so long. It was like, okay. Where was I? But yeah. Yeah, I remember saying I was going to do that. Yeah, it's definitely be a good lesson based on just my past. So I like doing readings, like explaining for the lines when they actually show those events in a way, in a dramatic way. Some people's hands literally show everything. Other people's hands show nothing. Like I had a friend who got cancer, and her hands were so like clean, they showed nothing. And I thought, well, why is it not showing any problem? And it's because she's just so robust, I think, and it didn't affect her mentally. She was strong enough to get through it without it affecting her mentally. So it was it was interesting to see. And then later on she got a mild issue, a very mild issue, nothing like cancer, and it showed up on her health lines. So she ended up getting all this area got covered in little fine lines, and so it was a digestive thing. So, and stress. So when she was stressed about something else made her stressed, and then it showed on her hands. So it just showed that she didn't let that cancer stress her. It's like she knew that, it'll go away, like the doctors will make sure that it's all fine and dandy. And it was. And I think worrying causes more problems than anything else. More than likely. Stress and worry. But anyway, yeah. How are we going for time? Yeah. I'll check my number. Did anyone send me any pictures? Nope. Chats. No. No one sent any pictures through. Oh well. Next time. Yeah. What else? What else would you like to learn about today? I was focusing on the health side, but I'm happy to answer any other questions. Someone who doesn't like their hands and lines. That's interesting. So what would you say? I don't like my hands and I don't like my lines either. What would I say to myself? I don't like my hands. They're ugly. They're knuckled. They're old. They're fat. I have broken weird lines all over my hands and they're not pretty looking at all. Like, that just shows my personality. So someone who doesn't like their hands, it just shows their personality. I'm not delicate. My hands are not delicate, so I'm not delicate. My hands are wavy and broken. So is my life. My life wasn't smooth. I didn't have an easy life. So my life has had all these changes. So someone who doesn't like their hands, it's reflecting you. It's reflecting your life. So you have to get used to dealing with what you've been dealt. So I've been dealt these hands and I joke about them. I got these paddles. I can play ping pong with my paddle hands because they're just so, I don't know, they just look fat to me. I don't know. So anyway, you just learn to understand that they reflect you and you accept yourself as who you are and you accept the flaws in the lines, because nobody's got absolutely perfect lines and no one's got perfectly balanced hand. You know, there's always something that someone might have, you know, the bent finger or a short finger or one fat finger or something looks out of proportion. So it just means that you're not perfect on the inside or the outside, and that's normal. No one is expected to be perfect, and they show what you are. Like, you look at someone who has a very easy life and they might have a modeling career, so they're going to have soft, delicate, beautiful hands, and I appreciate those beautiful hands with the nice clean lines because they've had such an easy life, but it reflects their easy life. So I am proud of my tough past because of the energy I've always managed to put into my life, and I appreciate the stories that I can tell. That you can't say that I've had a boring life. And it's not over yet. I'm still going. I'm not saying that, but at the end of the day, I will be able to say I didn't have a boring life. So I've learned to appreciate my hands for what they are. So yeah, And like I said, if there are marks on there, it's no point worrying about it. It's better to just focus on, focus on what you do want, and not what you don't want. So you focus on what you want and things will happen that way. You chew your cuticles, yeah. Too many lines, yeah. Lines going in the wrong places. Had the rug pulled out, yeah, too many times, yeah. Yeah, I get it. And I grew up chewing my fingernails as well. As a kid, I was always going, I don't know. So I've got shitty looking nails, but I don't care because I can't have them long anyway. Now I'm practicing guitar. I gotta have them short so that I can press the strings. So, yeah. Never mind. People just aim for perfection all the time, and it's probably not something that's reachable. But we do the best we can, hey? Anyone send me any? I took the number down now. I'll just check, make sure. If someone send me any pictures. There's my other phone. Here's me with two phones. No, there's nothing there. Okay. Excuse me. Oh. Bit of a sneeze. Sorry about that. Anyway, so I might leave it at that for today. Thanks for the chat, Erica, because we've had no other questions. I know we've got people that are viewing, but they're too shy to speak. That's okay. Next time, come and join me next week, same time. I will bring up a picture of my left hand and we can do that discussion, and I will also look at my mum and dad's hands to see if there is anything else on there that that I might have missed based on their situation now, and try and do the timing on those lines. So yeah, we'll definitely do that, and it's going to be exciting lesson or stream, whatever you want to call it. And that will be, if you're watching now, that will be only visible during the live. After that, next week's any ones that I put my mum and dad's or my own pictures in, once it's streamed live, it goes members only, VIP, members only. You must be a member to view it and or replay it. So that will be next week, same time. You can take better photos. Yep, not a problem. Yep. Thank you. I hope Mum gets better too, and I look forward to doing the stream again next week. And I will be posting, probably be doing other videos through the week as well, just some recorded ones. So keep an eye out for that. Thank you for being here today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.